What's up, everyone? Jason Gilbo here with Rob Zyka, breaking down some stacking options for a Tuesday slate. Full 15 games, a lot of high totals, a couple of West Coast games, but for the most part, you and I are always sticking Central and East.
Yeah, it's a couple high totals. You got a couple West Coast teams that are coming Central and East, which helps a lot. It's a Kershaw slate, so I mean there might be a value stack that you want to use, but with the way the DFS has been this year, it's been better to pay down at pitching and not pay for Kershaw and pay up for the stack you like.
Yeah, it's kind of like yesterday where it was like the high expensive stacks. There's no real expensive pitching outside of Kershaw to really use.
No, not at all. There's a bunch of just blah options and a bunch of options we are going to love stacking against.
Yeah. We'll talk Colorado, San Diego here first. Antonio Senzatella, Donaldson LeMay. Both these sides obviously stackable. Once again, San Diego comes in on the value side with just on DraftKings. I mean, no one's over 4,200.
No, yeah, they're all really cheap. Even on FanDuel, they're all under 4K. Senzatella, he's awful at home, gives up at pretty much at least 4 runs per game at home. It's pretty bad. And the Padres, they're the underdog, pretty heavy underdog, and they only have a total of 5.2 runs, and they're all cheap. So I'm looking more towards the Padres on this side.
Yeah, I am too. I think, guys like Margot, Perella, Myers are all intriguing. Ian Spangenberg are intriguing. I know Sanchez, he was hitting cleanup with Hedges being scratched because he's got the concussion issue, and for some reason they keep tossing him in the lineup after he's been banged up.
Yeah, and like we said before, they're cheap, and you might actually be able to get it with Kershaw on FanDuel. I haven't played around with it yet, but it's definitely possible.
Yeah, it should be able to. DraftKings, you definitely be able to.
Yep.
On the Rocky side, I'm kind of more intrigued with using them as one-offs. The occasional Blackman, Arenado, but I think there's some other teams I like in terms of more points per dollar.
Yeah, we have Big Sexy on the slate, so he presides over Coors today.
Yeah, for some reason he keeps landing jobs, and he's pitching at home against the Yankees. Hopefully we get an actual full Yankees lineup that's intact. I know they've been kind of switching in and out guys. Sanchez should be back. He sat out Monday night, so you look, McClellan struggled against both sides of the plate. You get a lot of guys who handle both lefties and righties well. You get Gregorius, who's back in the lineup, who I like quite a bit there at shortstop.
Yeah, you remember Judge during the home run derby last week? Basically, he's getting the same pitches from Bartolo Colon tonight. So Judge may hit 500 feet.
Yeah, I'm loading up on the Yankees here. Good spot. I think they're my favorite stack outside of Coors.
Yeah, hands down. They're actually not even the highest implied run total, which I find surprising, maybe because the wind's blowing in and the temperature is not too high. But whenever you have Cologne on a slate, you pretty much just go all in against them, and it works out just about every time this year.
Yeah, and we have another stack we like, another home run derby candidate here, Cody Bellinger, and the Dodgers going up against Miguel Gonzalez. On the road in the AL ballparks, so they'll gain the DH. They're also going to gain a positive park shift playing in guaranteed rates. So this is a good one here against Miguel Gonzalez, fly ball pitcher. There's a lot of home run upside.
Yeah, this entire team's in play. I mean, maybe Chase Utley doesn't have a home run upside, but I mean, watch him hit one now that I just said that. But you got Puig. He's been on fire lately hitting ninth, surprisingly. Corey Seager, Justin Turner, Cody Bellinger, 3 of the hottest bats in the entire MLB. And this Dodgers team is the World Series favorite right now.
Yeah, below a 40% ground ball rate against both sides, below a 15% strikeout rate against both sides of the plate. Bellinger, Justin Turner, those are all guys I'm looking at. Yasmani Grandal. I don't even mind Jock either, just because Miguel Gonzalez doesn't miss a lot of bats.
Yeah, and Puig on FanDuel, he's hitting ninth, so you really don't want to look toward him in cash. But for GPPs and in a stack, Puig's 2,500 on FanDuel.
Yep, I'm with you there. I think I'm looking contrarian. I don't think Atlanta's going to be too highly owned. And John Lackey, I mean, he's just been awful against lefties this year. Braves bats, I mean, they're going to bring a few to the table. Lackey, 367 WOBA to lefties this year, 274 ISO. I love the fact that now Freeman's third base eligible, so you can play him and Matt Adams in the same lineup. You also get Matt Kemp, you get Inciarte. I mean, those are guys I don't mind here.
Yeah, and Lackey has really struggled against the lefties. We got to watch out for the pop-up storms in Hotlanta this time of the year. But SunTrust Park is really good for lefties. Freddie Freeman, Nick Markakis is even playing the stack. I mean, not a lot of upside, but Matt Adams, Ender Inciarte, like you just mentioned, they're all in great spots.
Yep. And you and I are also both looking at Arizona. Sal Romano on the hill. This is a guy who showed no strikeout upside down in the minors. Arizona's bats have kind of been cold lately, but Great American Ballpark is a great spot to get back on board.
And it's going to be hot. The wind is slightly blowing out. They're only a -129 favorite in this one, which is a little surprising to me. 5.4 run total, but you have these guys like AJ Pollock, David Peralta, Paul Goldschmidt, Jake Lamb, just to name a few, and they can just crush anybody. And Sal Romano, he's not going to strike anyone out. So these guys are all going to be making contact against him.
Yeah, I like the front four there. I don't mind lefties of like Chris Herman if he's in the lineup. He's super cheap. Descalso as well. So they bring some value options to the table. And really outside of Goldschmidt, I mean, they're not that expensive. I'm looking DraftKings. Pollock's 4.4, Peralta 4.2, Lamb's only 4.4. That's a steal at third base.
And then you have a cheap option, Chris Herman down hitting 8th, and Daniel Descalso most likely hitting 7th. So those are some cheaper ways to go. And then Brennan Drury hitting 6th is always a good way to get your stack contrarian.
Yep. Outside of that, I mean, there's some other games with high totals. Baltimore, Texas over 5. I think both sides are stackable, but I think they rank kind of outside of the guys we just mentioned.
Yeah, for sure. And then you have Houston as well. They're always in play. If you stack them every night this season, you'd be swimming in money this year.
Yeah. There's a game out there in Los Angeles I'm kind of intrigued. Edwin Jackson taking on Jesse Chavez. These are two of like the worst arms possible. Washington's been red hot since the break. I mean, well, just even beforehand. I don't know. I think Washington could be a late night stack. I usually don't like stacking this ballpark, but I don't know. I'm kind of intrigued here.
It's definitely an option to go. The ballpark doesn't really help. You have the Marine layer this time of the year, but these guys like Bryce Harper, Ryan Zimmerman, Daniel Murphy, Rendon, Adam Lynn, they can just hit a home run anywhere off anybody. So Jesse Chavez, you can give it up, and this whole team, this Nationals team, can just randomly put up 10 runs on any night.
Yeah, it might be one to look at. So that's going to wrap things up. You can go to DaveFantasyCafe.com, check out our tools and content.